Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Supernova, the Baron's Path. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes while I entertain you. Let's jump right in. Alarm chain, you're up, and let's go. I really do enjoy these Halloween costumes. They're adorable. I won't deny that finding myself in the Sentinel's hideout has been thrilling in its own way, but I'm eager to return to my own bed. I trust that you can keep everything that's happened secret. If you need to, we can discuss the specifics of that before you leave. I think I've got it covered, but I can run it by you if you'd like. Unbound nods to that. I could drive you to your college sometime in the afternoon. How does that sound? Yeah, that'd be great. After I make sure it's safe. You kids take care of that. You. He points to me. Come with me. Here comes the deja vu! I'm not falling for this shit again. I think I need a little more rest before training. I tried to sound nonchalant about it while giving Nisus a discreet glance. Calm down, this will just take a minute. Fine. Not fine. How about I come along? The fox begins to stand while the Baron waves his hand in exasperation. I said calm down, I'm not gonna hurt him. Nisus clenches his jaw, then closes his eyes and sits down, relenting. It'll be fine, Nick. I nod at him, not quite reassured. If I think the Baron's leading me to their training room, I'll bolt. To my surprise, the Baron leads me straight to the med room. He says something to Gil while we're walking, speaking in a low enough voice that I can't hear individual words. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it puts me on edge. As we enter, my eye is drawn to the small table, where I spot a rather oversized syringe. The Baron picks it up and turns to me. What the hell is that? A tracking chip. What? Absolutely not! Listen, rookie, you'll thank me when you inevitably get your ass in trouble and need our help. So quit whining and pull up your sleeve. Fine. Really weird if you didn't do that. Didn't get a tracking chip. I don't know how that would affect the story later on. Is this necessary? I value my peace of mind very highly, so yes. I'm touched that you care so much about my well-being. I roll up my sleeve and grip my teeth. Keep dreaming, rookie. I'm concerned about the bracelet. Of fucking course he is. The syringe plunges into my flesh, but it doesn't hurt too badly. Now stay put until Superfang picks you up. Before I can retort, the Baron is already out the door. I'm starting to regret my choice of a mentor. What the hell was I thinking? The Baron is an absolute nightmare. Is it too late to go unbound and tell her I changed my mind? I rub my arm. It's a little sore, but nothing compared to what my chest felt like a couple days ago. What am I supposed to do for now? I wish one of the four would give me a proper tour of the place, since technically I'm part of the team now. Maybe my new mentor will do so when we begin training. I wonder if everyone is left by now. What would they be up to all day anyway? Patrolling the city, maybe? Regardless, I'll learn soon enough what the day-to-day life of a superhero is like. I stare again at the reddish band. I've been doing that a lot. The reality of it all is sinking in. I'm a superhero now. A freaking superhero. Damn. Can't deny the excitement, but there is a fear there, too. My mind flashes back to the image of the snarling wolf smashing his fist with ungodly force into Templar's armor. Over and over again. The badger inside the armor, bleeding, broken, dying. My breathing speeds up. The pounding of my heart is deafening. All traces of the thrill I was feeling are gone. Nick, I detect that you are in distress. No, I'm fine. It's fine. I force myself to breathe, slow, even breaths. Gradually, my heartbeat returns to normal. It won't happen to me. No way. Still trembling a little, I manage to push the thoughts aside. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'll be alright. I have people to guide me. Everything is going to be fine. Hell, for your sake, I certainly hope so. Before Vince comes to pick me up the next day, I have a brief chat with Unbound, going over what I should tell people when I'm out there again. She seems satisfied in my ability to cover my tracks, so the talk doesn't last long. By the time we're supposed to leave, I'm desperate to be out in the sun again. I'm amused to see that Vince's car is only slightly less shitty than mine. I guess superheroes don't pay well. Vince apologizes about the sorry state of the ride before I can get a single word out. He looks embarrassed about it too, so I assure him it's fine. We're in the large cavern I've glimpsed a couple times during my stay here, which I now know serves as the garage. Oh, let me clear my throat. Okay. Anyway, Nisa says we're good to go. Did he, I don't know, go and check my dorm room or something? No idea. I mean, he could sneak inside if he wanted to without much trouble. Oh, right, you have a roommate. Maybe not then. Alright. We get into the car and start riding down a narrow tunnel. Vince has pushed his seat almost all the way back. I examine the tunnel as we drive. The rocky walls and the ceiling in the cavern suggest we're underground somewhere. I'm proven right as the path slopes upwards and I spot an entrance sliding open for us. We emerge onto a dirt road, and as I glance in the side mirror, I see the entrance close again, leaving a perfectly innocent patch of ground. We're up in Salford Park. Don't worry, this part of this private property, and Gil monitors the entrances. How was this all built? Gil has a lot of bodies. Like, robotic ones? Yup. Guess that explains who takes care of the facility. It would be silly to expect the Sentinels to do it, and hiring staff would be out of the question. Nova City glitters in the distance. Salford is one of the largest parks in the state. I've hiked here a couple times. The lush forests are a perfect complement to the sandy beaches to the west. It's not too far from the city either, so the Sentinels could be back there in a short time. Well, the flying ones at least. Do you usually drive all the way up here? Nope, Nisus is the only one who does. How do you get around then? Vince grins. I'll show you sometime. We're quiet for a bit. I gaze out the window, appreciating the view of the city. Hey, Vince, I guess I haven't asked. What have you been up to since high school? Besides the Super Fang stuff, I mean. The tiger holds the steering wheel with one paw, scratching his cheek with the other. Not much, really. Did pre-med at Nova U. Now I'm taking a year off to shadow some doctors to prep me for med school. The surprise I'm feeling must be showing because Vince's whiskers twitch and he gives me a nervous glance. What? Nothing, just unexpected, I guess. You were so into theater, I figured you'd go into the arts. Oh, no, not really. My parents didn't want me to. Huh. My own parents weren't thrilled when I decided to major in English, so I get where he's coming from. Did you do any drama stuff in college? No, was too busy. I feel a pang of disappointment. It's cool he's studying to become a doctor, but the tiger was so passionate about theater. I don't think I've seen any other high schooler get into as much as Vince would whenever we were putting on a show. He almost always got the lead parts, too. Honestly, with his looks, he could have become a famous actor. What about you? Still in it? Not quite. I began writing instead, and I was awful at acting anyway. Don't say that, dude. You had a great voice. You were a godsend for musicals. Not inaccurate. I can indeed sing, but I'm nowhere near as good as Vince is making it sound. I beam at him anyway. You know, I'm so glad you decided to do this. Meaning, join us, become a superhero. And for a bit I wasn't sure you would. I tilt my head, thinking, well, I won't lie. Unbound didn't make it sound easy. Funnily enough, talking it out with the Baron helped. The more he pushed back, the more certain I became that I wanted to do this. Vince gives me a concerned look. Hope he wasn't too rough on you. Don't worry, Vince, I can deal with him. I've stood up to bullies before. He's not like that, I promise. And for what it's worth, I think you'll do great. I'll try, but thanks. We chat a little more about this and that. Turns out Vince does some volunteer work as well. Can't comprehend how he manages to pull it off, since he is also freaking Super Fang. When I ask, he reacts with an awkward smile. We're soon in the city, and it doesn't take long from there to get to Grifton. Vince drops me off near my dorm. Oh, I forgot to ask. You want me to drive you to the funeral tomorrow? No, I think I'm good. I should be able to get to my car back then. You sure? Neat. Frank lives nearby. I was gonna pick him up. Might as well all go together. You know what? Sure. Text me, alright? Sounds good. Nisus doesn't mention he lived near Grifton. I wonder if I've ever seen him in his civilian guise, unaware of his true identity. Doubt it. Nova's a huge city with way too many people. Vince waves before driving off. The quad is fairly crowded. It's mid-afternoon after all. Several students are just lounging on the grass, reading or chatting. I head into my dorm building, messaging Lucas that I'm back. He doesn't respond while I take the elevator ride to our floor. I've somehow managed to retain the keys to our suite. When I open the door, I see a blur of movement. I have barely any time to react before I'm half hugged, half tackled by my wolf roommate. Hey, ow! Dude, you're gonna crush my ribs! Lucas laughs at that, the vibration passing from his chest into mine. Sorry, I'm just glad you're, good. I feel a little awkward. Lucas tends to be quite open with his feelings, but he's never been this affectionate. I am indeed good. I grin as he slaps me on the back. Careful, asshole, I'm still sore. It's good to be back. If only for a moment I could forget about the craziness behind and ahead of me. I sit down on my chair and turn to face Lucas. But yeah, for real though, I was losing my mind before you texted me. I'm so touched. Lucas chucks a pillow at me. I catch it, laughing, but I don't throw it back. Okay, I'm just happy we both made it out of there. Yeah, that was insane. Oh, you don't know the half of it. And not that I'll be explaining what actually happened, even if Unbound hadn't instructed me to keep quiet. I know how dumb that would be. What the hell was up with that hospital anyway, not letting us visit and shit? I shrug and try to divert the topic. Us? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, your parents too. I spoke a bunch with your mom. How did you even get her number? Jess has it, dummy, from last summer. Well, that's right, I had forgotten about that. I texted her you're back, by the way. She should be over soon. I perk up at that. Jessica Wilder became a part of our little power trio late into freshman year, and we've been almost inseparable since. You're looking good, all things considered. Thank you, I consider myself quite a handsome raccoon. Maybe handsome for a raccoon. Hey! Lucas isn't quite as swift to catch the thrown pillow, but it smacks him in the muzzle. Before he can retaliate, there's a knock on the door, so I give him a smirk and he gets up to open it. Nick! Jess unceremoniously pushes Lucas out of the way and charges right at me. Ah yes, Jess, the invisible girl. The chair almost tips over, threatening to send both of us to the floor as she throws herself onto my lap and gives me another rib-crushing hug. Fuck, are you two trying to kill me? Oh, shut up, I'm just happy to see you. She squeezes once before jumping nimbly off me. The lynx pauses to look me over with a critical eye. Her face then splits into a grin again. You pushed me! Well, you were in the way. I was opening the door for you! Lucas continues to pout while rubbing his elbow, and I burst out laughing. It's so good to see them again. How are you, Nick? I'm fine. Nothing broken, as you can see. She eyes me up and down, then nods, satisfied. Looks like it. Good. You kept us pretty worried for a bit there. Just plants herself on the couch. So then, what have you two dummies learned from this experience? Don't help Lucas with projects he should have completed a month ago? Look up at the sky every time you're out, just in case there are supervillains flying at you. Stay away from shitty unfinished construction projects? Don't stay with Nick somewhere just because he likes the view. Wow, Dick. Yes, very good, very good. Seems we have internalized some valuable life lessons after all. Jess puts on a mock voice, like she's lecturing a class of third graders. Indeed, ma'am. I'll be honest, at first when Lucas told me what happened, I thought it was some dumb prank. Yeah, it took a while to convince her. Trust me, it was very real, and as batshit crazy as it sounds. Lucas turns to me, suddenly serious. So, what happened after the stairs collapsed? You never told me. It's all kind of a blur, as I told you. Templar and that other one were fighting, stuff was flying around. They kept smashing through walls and shit, so I had to keep running from one place to the next to keep myself hidden. I guess at some point I got smacked in the head and it knocked me out. I woke up in the hospital. Fuck, dude! I should have found a way up there! Don't be stupid, you were right to get out while you could! A non-agreement. Lucas is beating himself up over complete nonsense. There was nothing he could have done. He would have just gotten himself killed. The wolf lets out a heavy sigh. Come on, you know you couldn't help me there You know you couldn't help me in there in any way. Yeah, I guess. Jess cuts in to change the topic. You ready for the midterms? Yes, I got so much studying done. Alright, don't get snippy. Did you at least ask for extensions? Yeah, I emailed all my professors while I was at the hospital. I got an extra week for my papers, and they rescheduled my Tuesday exam for Friday. Wow, unfair. The one extension they gave me was for my independent project, since, you know, my footage is lost. Well, and you know, Niece has asked me not to spread the word about what happened at the construction. Oh, I had forgotten about that. I glance over at Jess. Noticing this, Lucas starts to shake his head. Well, I had to tell Jess, dude. It's not like she'll tell anyone. Duh. I'm a little uneasy about this. Nisus is nice, but I doubt he'd like Lucas babbling, even to another close friend of mine. Speaking of... An all too familiar mischievous smirk is tugging at Lucas's muzzle. You're telling me you were unconscious when Superfang carried you off in his strong, muscular arms? Jess snickers. Shit, Nick, that must be heartbreaking. My bemused expression seems to entertain them all the more. Ha ha, look at the pro-comedians over here. Oh, come on, you know you would have loved that had you been awake. I flip the bird at them both, even though a part of me knows they're not entirely wrong. Vince is rather handsome. That doesn't mean, however, that I want him to bridle carry me anywhere, even if he does have those strong, muscular arms Lucas mentioned. Fuck, where the hell am I going with this? Focus, damn it! Yeah, and what about you? Enjoyed getting a close look at Nisus? You know what? Not half bad. Shorter than I expected, but well, little I could say under that cow was cute. What did you even see? The tip of his nose? I think I spotted his whiskers peeking out too. Alright, boys, you can fawn over your saviors some other time. What I want to find out is, do we know what happened to Templar? I blink. Templar. Templar's dead. And also, I'm Templar. I'm sure he's fine. He seemed to be winning the fight when I was knocked out. I try to sound casual, but I'm not convinced I pull it off. Well, the other dude flew off a couple minutes before Superfang got there. For all we know, he might have, finished the job and left. I feel my breathing grow faster as I shake my head. I think Templar just drove him off with it in it before his teammates arrived. Hope so. Besides, the supervillain wouldn't have left you alive, right? Right. I hate lying to them like this. Shit, this is harder than I thought it would be. Fortunately, the conversation shifts to something else again, and I just let Lucas and Jess chatter on while I think. After half an hour or so, Jess excuses herself, telling us she needs to study and reminding me to do the same. I smile and wave the links as she leaves. You still owe me dinner, by the way. The wolf lets out a rumbling laugh. After all the time I spent reassuring your parents? You know what? Fair. We'll call it even. The rest of the day is uneventful. I catch up on some work now that I have access to my laptop. It's a little strange to be back in my dorm room, worrying about papers and exams, when just this morning I was in the secret base of an actual superhero team. The school stuff still seems rather distant right now, and my thoughts inevitably turn to Templar's funeral. The Baron wasn't wrong. I don't know anything about the Badger who wore this bracelet before me. Nothing about his life, who he was, what he was like. Yet he entrusted me with his powers, his armor. This is just an opportunity for me to honor him, in my own small way. I should have asked Vince about him while we were driving. Instead, I'm about reminiscing about high school stuff. I suppose I can ask him tomorrow when he picks me up. Eventually, I wander over to the showers. When I return, Lucas gives me a curious glance. What's that? He's pointing at the bracelet. Shit, I keep forgetting it's there. I wish it had even a tiny bit of weight to it. It's a gift from a friend. The wolf frowns. Oh, when did you get it? At the hospital. I realized my answer was dumb before Lucas even asked the next question. Huh, I thought it was no visitors allowed. He didn't visit me. He works there, someone I knew in high school. I can tell by the way the wolf's ears are moving that I'm doing a piss-poor job with his story. A good friend? Kinda? He looks at the bracelet, then stares back at me. Is there a point to this? Oh, I'm sorry, I was just curious. It's just a cheap bracelet, Lucas. Anyway, night. Oh, okay. Good night. With a nod, I head into my room to get dressed. I'm feeling pretty irritated, although I'm not sure if it's directed at him or myself. A little bit of both, maybe. By the time I'm back in the common room, Lucas has his headphones on, so I just do some light reading. Before I go to bed, I inform him that I'll be out tomorrow. I don't lie about my purpose, although I don't mention whose funeral it really is. Oh, perfect timing, actually. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!